live scheduled, but for some reason my computer is not letting me on. So I'm waiting for people to move over here from the live version that I had planned, and hopefully people will see that. Sorry for the technical difficulties. This is crazy. I've never had this happen to me before, so here we go. Here we go. Let's see if people switch over and see this. It's not looking like it, but let's see. I'm gonna give it some time here. Hi, Gina. Please let me know if you're in the chat. It's saying that there's no one here, but if there isn't, that's fine. I'll just start talking. It's not a big deal. But let me know if you're there. On my end, it doesn't look like anyone's here, so that's why I'm not speaking yet, because I want to make sure that people that are watching are, because there's about it says about 6 people watching right now, so I just want to make sure that people are able to see everything. Awesome. Okay, as long as you're here. So I have some people listening. Okay. So Anna, if Anna's here, I just want to make sure Anna's on. Let me just message her really fast. I'm so sorry. I'm like running late, you guys. I'm not usually late. Not usually late, so I apologize. I'm never like 15 minutes late. That is not me at all. I am usually like 1 minute early, if anything. So I apologize for my delay. Today, I want to talk about why you may not be seeing the health goals that you want. I think we in health, we kind of look at health as a blanket thing, like a goal destination. Once I hit the goal, then I'm done, right? So I just want you to kind of pivot with me as we kind of move forward into this new chapter of life, because there is a lot that's being restored here. So let me just... Hold on, I'm just letting some people know that I'm here. So, let's see. Just making sure. So I kind of want to go into detail here about why you are what you focus on, right? So there's a mantra that I've been telling myself. I don't know what happened either. It's ridiculous. So you are what you tell yourself. I don't think people realize that, one, you are an energetic person. We've kind of been lied to a little bit about everything being this like physical body, everything being this like, everything is just about food and about exercise and etc. There's so much more to positive health and positive health practices that we can start to install into our brains and our system, okay? So I want you to think about your body, your nervous system. Your nervous system is either looking for fight or flight or calm down / relax, right? So if your body is constantly looking for the fight or flight, it's going to. What I mean to say is, if you are, like, let's say, for example, I used to be 300 pounds, right? Many people don't believe me, but it's true. I worked hard to get there, and I'm very proud of what I did. However, my point is, when I was losing weight originally, right, and got to where I was, the reason I got to where I am now is actually because I started to let go of that old identity. I started to let go and release that person that was overweight. It's kind of like when you are trying to bring in more money, or when you're trying to start a job, like a new job or a new career, until you start doing the thing and then like letting go of that person that you were, nothing's going to start happening because your body is still in that space. Sorry to those people who just joined. I had technical difficulties, so please accept my apology. I am deeply sorry. So where I was saying is, if your body is always looking for that old person to basically like stay stuck in, it's going to find it, right? So let's say you are super skinny, right? And you want to gain a little bit of weight, or you're on the other side where you're overweight and you want to lose weight, right? If your body and your mind know that that person from 20 years ago is still here, it's not going to let go and be present or go forward, right? So as an example, I can talk to you about business, right? So business wise, I'm looking to find new offices and expand and do all these exciting things. But my mind for the past like probably year has been so stuck in this one space of, oh, I'm sort of thinking small. I'm a little nervous. I wasn't ready to like fully let go of this office. And then probably over the weekend, I was like, I'm so ready to let go of this. And what's funny is that when I used to work at Disney World, like 10 years ago, is it 10 years ago? About 10 years ago, yeah. When I left Starbucks and I started working for Disney, the craziest thing happened to me. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit my job. I hate being here. I don't enjoy it. It wasn't fun for me. So what did I do? I just quit. I gave the guy 2 weeks notice and I quit, right? Sure, was it scary? But I knew it was the right thing. I just knew I had to move forward. I had to move on, right? So I quit my job. I'm not kidding you guys. I had auditioned for Disney 6 months prior. So like I moved to Disney World, or I moved to Florida in 2000 and when was that? 2012. And when I moved down there, I had a job with Starbucks. When I first went down to Disney World to audition, I literally was working for Starbucks because I needed a survival job, right? And then I'm bringing this all back to health in a second. I'm just telling a story because it helps understand why. So when I used to work for Starbucks, I was like miserable. I hated my life. I hated everything. I hated existence. And then I quit my job because I was like, well, there's nothing worse than being here. I'd rather be jobless right now and be happy than be at a place that I can't stand, right? So I left, and literally within a week, my audition, mind you, was 6 months prior, right? So I knew I had the part, but in the way Disney works, it's kind of convoluted, right? So I left Starbucks, left Starbucks, and within 1 week, I got hired at Disney. So what does that tell you? That tells you that I let the identity of that person go because I was no longer tied to that. I was kind of like, this sucks. I don't like who this person is. I don't enjoy being miserable, right? So what I'm saying is your identity is constantly, your body and your mind are only going with you to where you will let it go. Your mind is so powerful, right? It's so powerful that when you are clung, and I do mean clung to the past, why do you think you're moving forward? If you're clung to this existence of you that says, like, let's look at financial. If you're clung to this existence of you that says, you're safe and secure once you hit $400, but anything below that, you're screwed. Fight, flight, run from the bear, you're done, right? So I'm trying to help you all understand this in a lot of different areas of life to bring it back to health, okay? So now we're talking finance, right? So if you're terrified of what your bank account looks like under $500, you're gonna be really scared when it goes under that because that's your limit. That's what you think is safe and secure. If it's anything below that, you're gonna start to run, fight, flight, hot, all those things, right? So it's the same thing with health. It's the same thing with your weight. It's the same thing with living in abundance. It's the same thing about manifestation. Stop manifesting and get this manifestation word out of your head if you are not in a calm place to manifest. If you're panicked and desperate and in fear and you're trying to manifest something, you know what you're going to manifest? You're going to manifest exactly how you feel in that moment. You're going to manifest desperation. You're going to manifest panic. You're going to manifest all those things. And then your body is going to bring it to you because, listen, y'all are manifesting and bringing things into your existence literally every second of the day. So I always tell my clients, start listening to how you talk to yourself. Start listening to how your body and how you've been talking to yourself for probably, I don't know, your whole life, 20 years. It's all conditioning. It's all conditioning from your parents, from society, from your old mentors, etc. Okay? So if you tell yourself a story long enough, so let's say you're telling yourself that you're overweight and you're never going to lose weight and it's always going to be like this and blah, blah, blah. Do you think you're going to lose weight? Probably not. If you always think that you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life and it sucks and blah, 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 do you think you're going to get out of it? Probably not, right? So you need to start telling yourself a new updated story. And this takes so much time and patience with yourself, because what's going to happen is that, and especially in America, just being real with you, we're a lot of all or nothing people, right? So we think, got it, I know the story, I'm just going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. What happens is that, sure, you'll do it, but what happens when something goes wrong? What happens when you're not in that heightened state and you're not in that really good, like, yes, I got this state? You're not used to it yet. So your body needs to get used to these things before it can just accept it. It's not ready to accept that new level, so you have to train it to get to that level. Same thing with anything else. It's the same thing as if you were to go into the gym and start lifting 30-pound weights, right? Your body is nowhere close to lifting that. You have to work up to it, just like this, right? It's just like letting go of a story is just like going to the gym and getting in reps. Taking a new supplement or getting on supplementation and detoxing is just like getting in reps. You do it one day, you do it for a week. At the first week, it's like, oh, this is a lot. And then after you start feeling better, you're like, this is great. Where's the next one, right? Like it literally just becomes part of your daily life, because that's how you now identify yourself. You identify yourself as a person who is healthy and a person who is gaining insight as to what their body has been underlying. So as opposed to telling yourself this story of disease and telling yourself this story of I am overweight or I'm so thin or whatever story you're telling yourself, we can start to retell ourselves a new story. But that new story, sometimes you have to start with one thought and say it to yourself 100 times until that thought becomes so ingrained and that belief is like, got it, locked it in, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is because everyone thinks, especially with all these new like RFK coming in, I think it's great. I think RFK coming in is great. But you guys I just want you to be cautious on, don't look for someone to be saving you here, okay? You still have so much power inside of you than you even know. I'm all about what he's doing. I'm all about what they're bringing in with all that health stuff. I'm all about it. Make America Healthy Again is a great mantra. It's awesome. But you got to start with yourself first. And you got to start with learning, and you got to start with understanding how your body works first, okay? And your body works as a system, not in separate organs. And I think a lot of people forget that. They think, because you go to your doctor and your doctor said, again, I'm not downing doctors, it's just a fact. They're like, liver's off. And what's wrong? Like, there's something underlying there. Nope, just cut it out. What? So we have to go from this very like stark, scary place, because that's, again, fight or flight, to let's maybe talk about how I can start doing this on a mindset level. How can I start changing this on a mindset, on a nutritional level, okay? So basically what I'm trying to help you understand here is as long as you stay in that past identity of who you were, you're never gonna get to where you wanna be, right? And it happens in steps, and it happens in easy steps, right? And the easiest thing I can tell you to do is maybe journal is the fastest way to start doing this, is like seeing what you're saying to yourself, right? Because weight loss, all these things, you guys, okay, so I'm gonna make this so simple. Food quality, not food quantity, okay? Everyone thinks that, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, so I need to stop eating as much. It's actually the opposite. Your body is actually starving. When you are trying to lose weight, the reason why your body has gained weight is, one, because it's been in fight or flight. And this goes for people who, by the way, are also underweight, right? It has been in fight or flight mode for so long that it doesn't know real food, and it panics anytime real food or food in general comes in. It's because it's been in fight or flight for such a long time that it doesn't know, oh, I can actually relax and enjoy this. got it. That's a new story, right? So food quality and food quantity, both, right? But you want to have, if you're having a lot of food quality and quantity, that's a good thing. Because again, when your body has been storing fat for so long, it's because it's actually starving. That's what people don't get about weight loss. It's actually that your body is starving for nutrition. It's starving for like legitimate food, that because again, our nutrients, our soil is so depleted that the reason why your body is storing fat and is storing all these toxins is because that's all it knows. So of course it's just going to keep doing what it knows. That's exactly what it knows to do. It knows to store fat. Of course, that's what it's going to do, right? So it's not happening. Weight loss is not happening because of eating the right thing. It's because you've been eating a lot of junk food, probably for a long period of time. And then that junk food turns into stress because your body's in a fight or flight state. Does that make sense? Yay or nay? So not only is it about food, it's also about your mindset, right? It's also about what you've been telling yourself for your whole life, right? This is the next part of the mindset, because the mindset, again, I don't think people understand, this is probably more crucial than food at this point for people who are trying to change their health. It's your mind. You need to change your mind. That's what I'm trying to get through to people for probably the past 10 years. The reason why, and I have to read this to you because I wrote this early and I was like, this is profound. The reason why the healing process must be slow is because your body needs time to catch up to your mind. If you've been a negative person and a pessimistic person about your weight and about you're around people who are always saying, I should start a diet tomorrow, or Monday is the day to start a diet, or blah, 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 that's a really negative way. It's a really negative feedback loop that my parents did the same thing, right? They always were like, diet starts Monday, diet starts Monday. Do you think that's a positive thing to hear and that your body wants to hear? No, it's horrible, right? So you need to start being kinder to yourself. So instead of saying, diet starts Monday, how about you should be doing that all day? You should be, as opposed to thinking about food as a diet, it should be your lifestyle. You should be eating. Like, I love when people are like, oh, well, I can't keep up with the way you eat. And I'm like, the way I eat clean. Like, that's how we all should be eating, interestingly enough. So I think it's funny how people talk to themselves or have been trained to talk to themselves, because they're constantly saying things like, oh, I'm going to start my diet on Monday. Or, yeah, that's just what I do. Well, okay, but do you hear your words? That's just what you do. That's called, you want to change, let's start changing it, right? So as opposed to, and again, when you enter into this world, right, there is going to be a stage of grief that happens because you've been doing something for so long. Of course you're going to be a little like sad. Of course you're going to feel like, I have to give that up. Well, you don't have to give anything up until you're ready. That's the power of like communication and working together, is that we're not here to just like stop your behaviors and your patterns that you've been doing in a day. That's crazy. And that's not sustainable. And it also is actually really bad for you, right? People don't say this enough. When you just do all or nothing, all these things all or nothing, or you just cut things out or what have you, it's actually really, really bad for you, because your body has been so used to that for such a long period of time that the moment you do something crazy, like let's say you've been eating, I don't know, or how about this? Let's say you've been drinking diet soda for 20 years, okay? I'm gonna say it because I used to do it, right? 20 years you've been drinking diet soda, and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm done. You don't think that your body's gonna react to that in any capacity? I'm not saying it's not a good thing. I'm just saying you don't think that your body's not going to respond in a way of like, what are you doing here? And freak out and go into withdrawal and all those things. Yeah, it might be doing that, and guess what? That's not good. And you're also teaching your body that that's okay and that's normal, and that's gonna start having a ripple effect throughout other areas of your life. Trust me, because I did it, okay? All or nothing doesn't work. All or nothing is not teaching your body, hey, let's learn this slowly so that we can actually like solidify it and have a really solid foundation going forward. It's actually teaching you, when something is hard or when I am scared, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut it completely off and not have an actual like healthy relationship with it. And that's why so many people have an unhealthy relationship with food, is because they just cut it out. And all these elimination diets that people are doing are so unhealthy because you're literally not giving your body a chance to catch up to itself. It's constantly in fight or flight. And that's why people who are trying to lose weight or even gain weight are having such a hard time, is because you're doing things too fast as opposed to talking about it. Like, there's such an emotional component to food for a lot of people, and a lot of people just need to talk it through and go, oh my God, yeah, like the reason why I do this is because I'm actually so scared of letting that thing go, because it's the one thing that I've used to cope. Good, that's a good thing. We need to hear about that, because if we can hear about that, we can move forward. And because we can realize that was your old identity and now we can shift it, right? It's exciting when you start to like learn how your body actually needs to move and how the shift needs to happen versus just like, I'm done. It's not healthy. So, and that kind of thinking puts a lot of pressure on yourself to be perfect or to get things done quickly. This is why like having goals is great, but when you're only focused on the goal and the outcome, the amount of pressure that you put on yourself to get to that next place is actually detrimental to you. Because what you're doing is you're stopping your growth in its tracks because you're so focused on the outcome or the goal versus the journey, right? This whole process, you guys, is a journey. It's not some like, once I get there, I'm done. Once I hit this thing, I'm done taking my supplement. Once I hit this thing, this is a journey of health. It's a journey of well-being. It's not a destination of well-being. If it were a destination, a lot of people would have already made it and been done, right? That's not what we're here to do. We're here to constantly grow and learn about ourselves. And if you're always doing that, you're gonna be super successful because you're constantly learning about yourself. Just like you're constantly learning about your body, what it can take, what it can't take, okay? So, fear is a habit. The reason why I want to talk about fear is because, again, like anything else, when you are in a fear-based state, do you think your body can release or gain weight? No. If you're in a fear-based state, do you think you're going to get to the next level at your job or make more money? Or probably not. And if you do, or if you do, you're doing it out of panic and desperation, and it's probably not something that's going to be fulfilling for a long term. You're probably going to find yourself burnt out, correct? So fight or flight and fear, all it is a habit. It's a conditioning. It's years and years. It's inherited emotion. It's family, dynamics that people just push things under the rug. And fear, what fear does that most people don't get is fear makes you grip. It makes you fight, right? You grip every muscle in your body. And the reason why I talk about fear and gripping like that is because the reason why most people fear is because they're thinking about what's going to happen in 10 years versus what's happening right now. Like you're going 20 steps into the future versus going, I'm actually good right now. Most people are looking for a problem because they're used to a problem. Again, that's why I said past self is used to problems and drama, is used to lawsuits and drama and someone coming after you and starting something with you. What if life was just peaceful? What if life was stress-free? Like, we don't realize how much our words impact our life. By you saying, oh, I'm so tired. Okay, well, I even found myself saying this to my girl Gina, who's on right now. I would be like, oh, girl, I'm so tired. I'm actually not tired, but I'm telling myself that story. So then guess what happens? On the weekends, I'm sleeping till 9 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, why am I tired? And then I started realizing it in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I've been telling myself that I'm tired. I'm actually not stupid. See what I did there? Okay? You are constantly manifesting your life and creating your life, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. So, what I want you to start doing is just a couple of steps. I want you to start telling yourself, I'm safe. I know this sounds weird, but it works. I am safe and capable of healing. When your body hears those words, you're going to start to feel it light up, right? I'm safe and I am capable of healing. If you speak literally nothing but good words to yourself all the time, and it's gonna take practice. I still fall in and out of it, not as much as I used to, but when I first started, I was like, this feels weird. And it feels weird because it's so far into you that it feels weird. Let it feel weird. Acknowledge the weird. Be okay with the weird. You're still gonna say negative stuff because that's the whole point of this, is we're trying to get rid of the negative thought. But if you really start to acknowledge the negative thought and then start to replace it with the positive thought, you're gonna see things change, okay? So, when you come out of fear, start with the awakening that's happening, right? So if something's scaring you, acknowledge it. Yep, I definitely feel that I am afraid. I'm like in that feeling right now. And then what I want you to do instantly is I want you to just go, but I'm okay. Just those words, but I'm okay. Because it will start to tell your body that, oh wow, I'm in the present moment, and in this present moment, nothing is actually happening, but I'm thinking 20 steps ahead, okay? So, you can't force a negative thought, you need to redirect the negative thought. So if you're in your head and you're like, ugh, I just can't get this weight off, or ugh, I can't gain weight, or whatever that, okay, acknowledge it, and then go, but I'm good, I'm okay. I'm okay. And then start saying one positive thing right after that, because I guarantee you're going to start to switch, okay? So the reason why you start doing that is because over time, you're going to start realizing, and your body's going to start to say, wait, is that true? And it's going to start to question the truth. It's going to, because it's happened to me before, it's going to start going, is that true? Or no, that doesn't feel true anymore. And then it's in this like readjustment. It's like when you get adjusted. It's like in this readjustment period where it's like, is that true? Is that not? Now I'm questioning. I don't know, right? So that's what I want you to start doing, because this is how you get healthy, is that you start to redirect these thoughts from a negative to a positive, right? Food is not your enemy. It's not your enemy. Quality food is not your enemy. Junk food is, because that's poison, right? Trashy food like fast foods and a lot of sugar and all that is your enemy. However, quality food, good meats, unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables in moderation, things like that, those things are great. Quality over quantity, okay? So, I want you guys to just start becoming more conscious with how you think, because I guarantee you, your new life is literally on the other side of your negative belief system that you created, because you did it. We're going to stop blaming other people because it's no one else's fault. It's really our own fault. Because when you start taking that power back, you can't be blamed. Because I used to blame my mom, I used to blame my dad, I used to blame my sister, all these people. And when I started to go, you know what? That's my shit, actually. When I started to blame myself, I started taking all of my power back. We love to blame people because then we don't have to take any responsibility for our own crap. And then we can't move forward. So before you start blaming people and cussing people out, I want you to start looking at yourself and going, yeah, that might have actually been them, but if I take responsibility for it, now I don't need to hate them. Because you don't realize what that does in your body. It creates this total like fight or flight response, right? So by letting go of how somebody else feels, by letting go of the negative feeling towards somebody else, or blaming or pointing that finger at that other person, and you just go, you know what? I'm just gonna take responsibility for it, at least for my side of it, because now I can let it go, okay? Like, you guys don't realize how much, and again, it's no one's fault, it just is, right? We don't realize how much holding on to this stuff from other people is literally causing you to be inflamed, to stay stuck, to not move forward. Let that old person go. We're in a new era, okay? We're in the golden age. Quite literally, we are in the golden age. I am golden, right? There's a halo of gold around me, right? Thank you. So stay in that golden era and let go of that old person, because it's not who you are anymore. If you're the one that complains all the time about people coming for him, if you're the kind of person that's always complaining about being tired, change the story now. We're done, okay? And I'm the accountability guy. People call me mean. They're like, you're so mean. I'm actually not mean. What it is I've lived in the victim mode and I know I can get out, and I know I can get people out of it. It actually comes from being really positive about my own life and being positive about your life. But that also happens from me knowing that there's more in you that just has to be kind of pulled up, right? I'm not a pusher down. Hey, I'm here for you, but you got to do the work. I'm here to help you, but you got to do the work, okay? Because I've done the work and I know it's possible. All right? So I hope this helps. Again, if you are struggling with your health, change your story. Let go of that old person and start, and again, slowly let go of that old person. Don't do it fast because then you're going to regret it because it's going to be really, really painful. Start with one thing at a time. All you can start doing is, I would literally write down a list of what I believe. This is what I used to do and still do sometimes. I write down a list of things that I believe mentally here, right? When I write that list down, I'm like, got it. Now I'm aware of what I believe and now I can start changing it, okay? That could be financially, that could be relationally, that could be business, that could be job, that could be security, whatever. All the things you think can be changed. It just takes you looking at what you're thinking about. You don't even realize that you're thinking about it because we're living so unconsciously right now, okay? So start writing down things. It's the easiest way to go, you know what? That pattern right there about that $500, that ain't nothing. It is what it is. When you start to go, oh wow, I'm still safe with less than $500 in my account. That's great. You're not gonna be so worried, are you? Right? Not gonna be so worried because you're gonna realize that you can create more. Everything comes, like that whole story of like money doesn't grow on trees. It's bullshit. It's not real. It does. Maybe not a physical tree, but you can bring it in very, very quickly. Just watch. So hope you guys have a great night. Let go of that old mindset. Let go of that old identity of whoever you used to be and start looking at who you are now, but where do you want to go in the future and who do you need to let go of over here that's no longer who this person is going forward. Have a great night, guys. Thanks so much. And sorry for the technical difficulties.